The gavel came down like a sentence. Dean Harrington's voice rang through the silent hall.
This so-called dissertation is a patchwork of stolen ideas. Kazuki Matsuda, you are expelled from this university, effective immediately.
That paper is my own work. You rejected it years ago because it threatened your theories.
But the committee was stacked. Harrington had handpicked every member. Kazuki's protests were drowned in a chorus of manufactured consensus.
Security. Remove this fraud from campus. His academic career is finished.
Heavy hands clamped onto Kazuki's shoulders. The guards dragged him toward the door as Harrington's smirk carved itself into his memory.
This can't be happening. Years of work, my whole future, gone in 3 minutes.
Outside, the autumn air stung. His feet carried him toward the parking lot, away from those brick walls now a prison.
I won't let this be the end. I'll find a way, no matter what it takes.
Little did he know, the key to his return was already in his pocket. A call that would change everything. Kazuki sank into the driver's seat and reached for his phone. A number he'd never called, but knew by heart.
Chairman Ishida? This is Kazuki Matsuda. I am calling about the dormant Matsuda Trust.
The Matsuda Trust. That's been dormant for over a decade. Who exactly are you?
I am the sole trustee. I am invoking the financial audit clause tied to my family's contributions. You have 48 hours to comply.
48 hours later, the audit concluded, and what it found sent shockwaves through the board. Dean Harrington had been siphoning grant money for years. Falsified research, offshore accounts. The evidence was undeniable. The board convened an emergency session. Chairman Ishida's face was ashen as he addressed the room.
Ladies and gentlemen, we face a crisis. Harrington's corruption threatens this institution's very existence.
Desperate, the board searched for a solution. Their only hope lay with the man Harrington had wronged, but Kazuki was not about to let them off easy. He had conditions, and the first would turn Harrington's world upside down.
Mr. Matsuda, the board implores you. Will you serve as interim chancellor to clean up this mess?
I have one condition. Harrington must personally hand me my reinstatement letter. Only then will I take the job.
Within a day, Kazuki sat in the chancellor's chair, the very seat Harrington had occupied for years. His first visitor, Lena Harrington, assigned as his liaison. She entered with guilt in her eyes.
Chancellor Matsuda, I am Lena. I am so sorry for what my father did. I didn't know.
Harrington's daughter. This complicates everything, but she seems genuine.
Downstairs, Harrington waited on a bench, sweat soaking his collar, his empire crumbling.
That brat won't get away with this. I'll crush him. I'll find a way.
Don't apologize for him. This is unusual. Let's just focus on the work.
The youngest chancellor had taken his place. The man who started it all now waited, right where Kazuki wanted him. Kazuki dove into the financial records, Lena at his side, retrieving files with a quiet diligence.
I am sorry, Chancellor. I should have noticed something wrong with my father's work.
She keeps apologizing. It's not her fault, but separating her from him feels impossible.
Meanwhile, Harrington paced the lobby, phone pressed to his ear, voice a low, venomous hiss.
Find dirt on Matsuda. There must be something we can use against him.
Kazuki's screen flickered with spreadsheets. A pattern emerged. Grants funding phantom research. Money siphoned to shell companies.
This isn't just embezzlement, it's a network. Who else is complicit?
Chancellor, please, let me help you. I want to set this right.
Trust was a luxury he couldn't yet afford. But her quiet sorrow, her trembling hands, it felt real.
We'll see. Keep bringing me records. I need to understand the full picture before I act.
The deeper Kazuki dug, the uglier the truth became. Entire grant reports were fabricated, research results invented out of thin air.
He used my own dissertation as a template for his fraudulent studies. The very research he rejected.
He summoned Lena. Her face went pale as he laid out the documents on his desk.
This can't be true. My father, He's not capable of this. Falsifying studies?
Every signature here is his. I am sorry, Lena, but the evidence is undeniable.
I am so sorry, Chancellor. I should have known. I should have stopped him.
Her tears seem genuine, but I can't afford to trust her blindly.
That night, he walked past her office. Through the narrow window, he saw her hunched over, her shoulders shaking with silent sobs.
How could he do this to me? To everyone who trusted him?
Revenge isn't as simple as I imagined, not when she's caught in the middle of it.
The next board meeting erupted into a storm of dissent. Half the table defended Harrington to protect their own secrets.
We cannot publicly condemn him without ripping the university apart. There must be a quieter solution.
Quiet? They want to sweep it under the rug. This is why he got away with it for years. A quieter solution won't bring back the stolen research or the careers he destroyed. Justice requires transparency.
Justice could also lead to federal investigations, loss of accreditation, and the end of this institution. We must weigh the cost.
The debate stalled. Kazuki left the room, his fists clenched, the taste of compromise bitter in his mouth. He found himself outside Lena's office. She was still there, her eyes red, a photograph of her father face down on the desk.
Lena, you don't have to stay here. Go home.
Home? There is no home. Not after this. I don't know who I am anymore.
He wanted to reach out, but kept his distance. Trust was still a bridge neither could fully cross. 2 nights later, Kazuki found himself across from Lena in a coffee shop far from campus, steam rising between them.
I suspected he wasn't completely ethical. Small things. I told myself. Not this. I was a fool.
My dissertation was everything to me. He read it once, called it derivative, and buried it. That rejection fueled me for years.
He was threatened by your work. I can see that now. All of this. It was about his ego, not your merit.
For a moment, they weren't chancellor and faculty, nor victim and perpetrator's daughter. Just 2 people carrying the same weight.
I came here to tear him apart. But you make that urge feel ugly.
I don't ask you to forgive him. Just don't let him change who you are.
The divide between them narrowed, though the chasm of Harrington's crimes still yawned below.
She's nothing like him, but can I trust my own judgment?
They left together into the cold night, closer than before. Yet the final answer remained just out of reach. By morning, every device on campus pinged with the same damning headline. Harrington's final play had begun. New chancellor settles scores. Ex-student's revenge scheme rocks campus.
Harrington. This reeks of his desperation. He's trying to bury the truth in scandal. I won't let him rewrite history. I have the evidence, and I'll use it.
You believe that trash? The chancellor is cleaning up corruption, and you are defending a fraud. My father stole millions and ruined lives. If you support him, you are part of the problem.
Down in the lobby, Harrington watched the chaos on his phone, a smug smile playing on his lips.
That should keep the little usurper busy. By the time the board meets, his authority will be shredded.
Across campus, the whispers grew louder. Trust in Kazuki's leadership began to fracture, but Kazuki had come too far to be stopped by rumors. The next move would be his. Kazuki worked late into the night, organizing files and evidence for the board's decisive meeting.
Chancellor, I want to testify about my father's research fraud. Put me on the record.
Number. That's too much to ask. He's still your father, and this could destroy you both.
You are not asking. I am offering. I need to do this for my own conscience.
She's determined. If I block her, I am no better than the people who silenced me. All right, but understand, once it's done, there's no taking it back. You'll be labeled a traitor.
I know, but silence makes me complicit. I choose the truth, whatever the cost.
They spent the remaining hours piecing together a timeline, every document a nail in Harrington's coffin. By sunrise, Lena walked toward the boardroom alone, a folder of evidence clutched to her chest.
Today, the truth comes out, and whatever happens next, At least she'll be free.
The boardroom fell silent as Kazuki stood at the head of the table, a projector lighting the screen behind him.
Over the past decade, Dean Harrington embezzled $4.7 million through falsified research grants and shell companies. We have forensic audits, fake invoices, and testimony from his own daughter. The evidence is undeniable.
Suddenly, the doors burst open. Harrington stormed in with a sleek lawyer at his side, his face contorted with rage.
This is a witch hunt. A vindictive child playing with numbers he doesn't understand. I demand to speak.
Chairman Ishida raised a trembling hand, his voice hollow, and dropped a truth that froze the room.
The audit is not limited to the dean. Several members of this board also facilitated the fraud.
Pandemonium. Accusations flew across the table. Allies turned on each other, and Harrington's smirk vanished.
It's not just him. The whole institution is rotten. If I expose it all, there won't be a university left.
Father, please, just tell the truth. It's the only way to save yourself.
The boardroom emptied like a courtroom after a mistrial. Kazuki walked the silent halls, his mind a storm of impossible choices.
Full exposure would cripple the university. But burying the truth makes me complicit.
A sharp voice cut through the quiet. He followed it to a side corridor and froze.
How could you? Not just the money, but rejecting his research to protect your pride.
His theories would have revolutionized the field. I couldn't let some grad student eclipse me.
Hidden in the shadows, Kazuki felt the weight of those words. It was never about the money. It was pure ego.
You destroyed a brilliant career to soothe your insecurity. I don't even know you anymore.
Harrington's face twisted with rage, but before he could retort, Lena walked away, leaving him alone in the empty corridor.
He didn't just hate me, he feared me, and that fear corrupted everything.
The truth now laid bare, Kazuki faced the cruelest choice: justice for himself, or mercy for the institution that failed him. Kazuki summoned Harrington to the chancellor's office. The air was thick with the stench of defeat and defiance.
Resign quietly. Repay the embezzled funds. No criminal trial, no criminal trial, no public disgrace. I want to protect the university.
You dare offer me a deal? This is about humiliating me, not saving some institution.
This is your only way to avoid prison. Think about Lena. She's already lost enough.
Don't you speak of my daughter. And don't think I am powerless. How do you think the board will react when they learn about your grandfather's trust?
The room grew colder. Harrington's words slithered through the air like a promise of mutual destruction.
He's willing to twist my family's legacy into a weapon. If that secret goes public, I'll lose all moral high ground. That secret won't protect you. It only proves you were investigated because of your own crimes.
The public won't see it that way. They'll see a bitter heir manipulating the system for revenge.
The meeting ended in stalemate, but Kazuki knew Harrington would torch the entire university to save himself. He had to act first. That night, Kazuki's screen lit up with a new lead, a hidden offshore account with a balance that dwarfed all previous findings.
This is it. The smoking gun. Every penny he stole, tucked away where he thought no one would look.
By dawn, an encrypted file landed in the inbox of a trusted journalist, no name attached, only undeniable proof. Within hours, the board scrambled into an emergency session. The leak had shifted the ground beneath their feet.
The journalist has threatened to publish by tonight. We must distance ourselves from Harrington immediately.
A unanimous vote. Harrington was to be stripped of all authority and barred from campus until further review. Harrington stood in the empty lobby, phone buzzing with the news. His allies had evaporated.
That brat. He leaked it himself. They've all turned on me.
From his office window, Kazuki watched the campus return to its rhythm, unaware of the storm he'd just unleashed. But a cornered animal is the most dangerous. Harrington was not done yet. A knock echoed through the chancellor's office. Harrington entered, his arrogance stripped away, leaving only the shell of a desperate man.
You were told to bring the reinstatement letter. Do you have it?
I couldn't. Please, I am begging you. Don't do this. I'll do anything. I'll resign quietly. I'll return every cent. Just, not this. Not public disgrace. Have mercy.
Mercy? You showed me none. The letter is the deal. Deliver it, and I'll consider leniency.
Harrington collapsed into the visitor's chair, his bravado shattered. A sound escaped him, half sob, half curse.
You've ruined me, my career, my reputation, my own daughter. Isn't that enough? What more do you want?
This is what I wanted. So why does it feel hollow watching him break? I want you to acknowledge, in writing, that your accusations were false. Then we'll talk. Until then, get out.
Harrington stumbled out, a man hollowed by his own sins. The letter remained unwritten, the wound unhealed. The door opened again. This time it was Lena, an envelope clutched against her heart.
My father, he couldn't face you, so he sent me. Here is your reinstatement letter. I also have this. She pulls a second envelope from her bag. My resignation. I can't work here anymore.
Number, not her. Not like this. Lena, wait. You don't have to do this. I don't want revenge if it means losing you.
You don't mean that. You've worked so hard, and I am just a reminder of everything he did.
He stepped toward her, but she flinched, tears streaming down her face.
I can't. I am sorry. Please, just let me go.
The door clicked shut. On his desk, the two letters lay side by side. Reinstatement and resignation.
I won. So why does it feel like I've lost everything?
The office was silent, save for the hum of the city outside. Kazuki sat motionless, the reinstatement letter in his hand.
This paper, I fought for it, but now I'd trade it in a heartbeat just to hear her voice.
He reached for his phone and dialed. The line rang once, then clicked to voicemail.
She's not ready. I can't force it, but I'll be there when she is.
He turned to the stack of evidence on his desk. The final board vote was set for tomorrow. Harrington's removal had to be absolute.
This isn't revenge anymore. It's justice. For the university, for every student he stole from, and for her.
Hours passed. He worked without pause, compiling timelines, signatures, and the damning offshore account records.
When this is over, I'll find her. I'll make this right. I just need her to wait a little longer.
By dawn, the final brief was complete. He sent a single message to Lena. After the vote, our coffee shop. Please. Then he straightened his tie, gathered the evidence, and walked toward the boardroom. Toward the final battle. The board vote was swift and final. Dean Harrington was stripped of all titles, and Kazuki Matsuda was named permanent chancellor. Kazuki declined a celebratory press conference. There was only one place he needed to be. Rain streaked the windows of the coffee shop. Inside, a solitary figure sat at a corner booth. Lena stared into her cup, her resignation letter still fresh in her mind. The door chime broke her trance. Kazuki stood there, rain dripping from his coat, breath held.
Lena, I know I have no right to ask you to stay, but I couldn't let it end like that.
You should be celebrating. You won everything. Why are you here?
Because winning doesn't mean anything if you are not there. I need you, Lena.
She didn't pull away. For the first time, silence between them felt like a question rather than a goodbye.
I don't know if I can just go back, but maybe we can start with coffee.
A fragile silence settled between them. Then Kazuki took a breath, ready to confess every mistake.
I was so blinded by revenge that I almost became the man I hated. But you showed me a different path.
Why me, Kazuki? After everything my family put you through.
Because you never defended him. You defended the truth, and somewhere along the way, I fell for you.
I fell for you too. Even when I felt I shouldn't. Even when I was terrified.
His hand closed over hers. The world outside the coffee shop faded, leaving only the two of them. A quiet promise passed through their intertwined fingers. No more running. No more pretending.
Let's leave the university out of this. No chancellor, no dean's daughter, just us.
I'd like that. Starting now.
In that small coffee shop, amid rain and remorse, two hearts chose each other, and a future neither had dared to imagine. 3 days later, the press hall filled with reporters, faculty, and students. Kazuki stepped up to the podium, his expression calm but resolute.
Dean Harrington has been removed for fraud and academic misconduct. I am now the permanent chancellor of this university. I am also reinstating my PhD candidacy, effective immediately. The dissertation he buried will be published within the month. I promise comprehensive reforms, transparent funding, independent audits, and a zero-tolerance policy for academic misconduct, starting today.
From the back of the hall, Lena Harrington watched, her eyes glistening with tears of pride and relief. The room erupted in thunderous applause. Students, faculty, and even board members rose to their feet. Kazuki's gaze found hers. In the sea of faces, it felt as though only the two of them existed. She gave a small nod, and he knew the promise made in that coffee shop would hold. The youngest chancellor in the university's history had kept his promise to himself and to the institution, but the final act of his vindication awaited him, his long-overdue graduation ceremony, where he would finally receive his diploma. Months later, the graduation hall buzzed. Kazuki stood among the PhD candidates, his doctoral robe pristine.
This piece of paper, I fought a war for it, and now it's finally mine.
In the third row, Lena rose to her feet, applauding so hard her palms stung. Tears flowed freely. Their eyes met across the crowded hall. In that moment, every hardship fell away. After the ceremony, they walked out into the golden afternoon, hand in hand.
I am officially Dr. Matsuda now, but I still owe you that celebratory coffee.
You owe me more than coffee, Chancellor. But I'll settle for starting our first tradition.
They headed toward the familiar coffee shop, their shoulders brushing. The weight of the world finally lifted. Their intertwined fingers spoke of a promise kept, a future shared. The once expelled PhD candidate had reclaimed everything, his degree, his purpose, and an unexpected love. In a small bookstore downtown, a man in an apron stacked volumes of forgotten stories. Dean Harrington had found his new place. Gone were the tailored suits and the echoing hallways. Here, the only sound was the rustle of pages and the bell over the door. He picked up a newspaper left on the counter. The headlines stopped his breath. Youngest Chancellor Reform Success. Matsuda's new era.
He did it. Not just revenge. He rebuilt the place I tried to tear down.
For a long moment, he stared at the photograph. No malice, no schemes. Just the quiet ache of what could have been.
Maybe if I'd fostered his talent instead of crushing it, I'd still be there.
A customer asked for help. He folded the paper, tucked it under the counter, and returned to his shelves. The world had moved on without him, and perhaps, in this small corner of it, he was learning to accept that. Some downfalls are punishments. Others are the first step toward redemption. The campus glowed under a golden sunset. Cherry blossoms danced on the breeze as two figures walked a familiar path.
It's strange. I used to walk this path alone, and now it feels like it was always meant for two.
For a long time, I thought this place was a prison. You showed me it could be a home.
They stopped beneath an ancient cherry tree, its branches heavy with blossoms. The world fell into a hush.
Kazuki, whatever happens next, promise me we'll face it together.
Together. No more running. No more hiding. Just us.
He leaned in, their foreheads touching. A breath away from the kiss that would seal their future. Neither hurried. They had waited this long. They could savor the moment. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Their silhouettes became one, a single shape against the fading gold. In the end, the harshest chapters of life can lead to the sweetest. If you are brave enough to turn the page,